లాస్ట్ టైం తీసుకున్న క్లాస్ బట్టి ఏదైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా మీకు? ఎనీ డౌట్స్? హలో, ఎనీవన్, ఎనీ డౌట్స్? ఓకే, సో ఇవాళ ఒక కాల్ తీసుకున్నాను అనమాట. యాక్చువల్గా మనం డిస్కస్ చేసిన పాయింట్స్ నుంచి కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగారు. యాక్చువల్గా చెప్పాలి అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు మర్జ్ క్వైరీస్, అపెండ్ క్వైరీస్ ఒకటి చూసాం మనం, అదొకటి అడిగారు. ఓకే, ఇంకోటి అంటే మనం పవర్ క్వైరీలో ఏ డేటా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్మేషన్ తీసుకుంటాం అది అడిగారు యాక్చువల్గా చెప్పాలి అంటే. ఇంకోటి స్ప్లిట్ కాలం ఒకటి అడిగారు. అంటే స్ప్లిట్ కాలం దేని బేసిస్ మీద చేస్తారు, అంటే జనరల్ గా స్ప్లిట్ కాలం ఎందుకు చేస్తారు అలా అని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగారు అనమాట. సో ఇదన్నీ కూడా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మీకు, అందుకనే అన్ని కూడా ఒక్కొక్కటి మీకు చూసుకుంటూ వెళ్తూ ఉన్నాం మనం. ఓకే, సో ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి, దాన్ని బట్టి మీకు ఏదైనా క్వశ్చన్ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో అడిగినప్పుడు ఇది యూజ్ అవుతుంది మీకు. ఓకే, సో విత్ ఆల్ దాట్ అంటే ముందుకెళ్దాం. ఓకే, సో అగైన్ అంటే స్ప్లిట్ కాలం ఇప్పుడు టేబుల్ క్వైరీని కన్వర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు అని తెలుసుకున్నాము కదా. సో రీజన్ ఏంటి మనం చూసాం ఏంటంటే వి విల్ బి యూజింగ్ దిస్ లిస్ట్ ఇన్ అవర్ పారామీటర్ దట్ we will be passing here. Okay, so basically it helps us in selecting the values. Okay, whatever the list of values that we are passing, those will be picked up in the parameter as such. That is the reason why we are using this list as an option in here. Okay, then we have something called a split. Again, it will be the same split that we have looked at all in the home tab as such. Okay, basically there is no difference in here. Okay, whatever the 6 or 7 options that we have the same options even there as well. Okay, there is no major difference for the split option that we are having in here and there as well. Okay, that's one thing. And the other thing coming in here is like we will be able to use some kind of the length. Okay, the first character, something like these options are also available when we are utilizing these options within the specific column as such. Okay, so suppose I think we looked at this extract actually. So where few examples we looked at was like extracting only the first 2 characters, something like that, or last characters, something like that we looked at actually. And we can even extract the length as well. Okay, basically here we are looking at the length of the specific column as such. Okay, so let's see that. And why we need the length is if we want to utilize the same option in some other calculations, probably we will be using this length option in here as such. Okay, so I need the length of this one. So let's say of this column. So what it will does is it just gives the length actually. You see, it has the first row is 4, the length of it is like 4 characters, 3 characters, 2 characters, something like that. It is giving the option for us in here as such. Okay, so the reason we use, again as I was referring earlier, so we may use that length as such in multiple reasons, multiple ways, and based on the length we will be creating additional columns also. Okay, also I just change the same column and I just got the length of this particular column. Okay, instead of that, if at all we want to have this particular column also, what we will do is we'll try to create a duplicate column of this. Okay, then we will take the length of this. See, then what we will do, what we will have is like we will have the original column, okay, as is, and we will just be using this as the length of the row ID. So length, then I will just name this as length row ID, something like this. So what am I looking in here? The length of that particular row ID is what I'm just looking at in here as such. So that's how we will be calculating the length, and we will be utilizing that length as such. Okay, then we have something given called under the extract itself, first character, last character, we looked at those already. Then we have something called range. Okay, range is nothing but if at all we want to pick up something from a specific column. Okay, like suppose first 2 characters or last 2 characters, something that we can give the range as such. See, starting index we can give 1, And then we are saying 2 characters. So this is the range that we are giving as such. So first 2 characters give me the output as such. Okay. Now you see it will give just the character length instead of okay. I just give 1 in here. Instead of that, I'll just say 0. And after the 2 characters, it gave the abbreviation that we were looking at earlier as such. Okay. This is how we'll give the range also. And something we have text to delimiter. Basically here, it will just convert the text, extract the text that comes before the delimiter. So in that case, we have another scenario also, wherein again, we looked at the scenario, I think. We want only the text before the first delimiter, which is the hyphen as such. So again, text before delimiter, we will say hyphen, click OK. Then again, we got the same thing, see whatever we were looking at as such. Okay. And parse is nothing but it will extract the rows and columns from XML or JSON formatted text. I told you, I think like we will be using certain databases that generally have this kind of format, either JSON or either XML, these kind of formats. For that scenario, probably we will be using this parse option. And then we have something like statistical functions also that we'll be using. And for that, we'll just select one of the numeric column in here. Okay. So basically here, what we are doing, we are trying to look at the sum, minimum, maximum, these values as such. Okay. So basically what we are looking at in here, we will try to look at the various calculations that we can write in here. Sum, if we just want to know the sum value, minimum value, the maximum value as such. So based on our selection, we'll be able to get that as such. And it will just give the output as such actually, if at all we are looking at. So if we, let's say we will take only the minimum value. See, it just gives the output, what was the minimum value directly. Or we can even go again to the transform